Konami. I'm, I'm a little annoyed. 'Cause guess who, forgot to turn her 3DO off after testing it with the new interface. It's me, which means the battery is dead. Yeah, I know. So today is with my normal mic. We're making do. But I did order new batteries that say they last 10 years. So hopefully that's not an issue again for a very long time. Because I can't deal with this. Yeah, it's lithium, 9 volts. I think people usually get them for their fire alarms or like clocks so that they don't have to change them. So hopefully it works well for the 3DO. Because today, if we want things to be in one ear or the other, I can do this, right? I have a filter, so I can still be in one ear only, but I have to click them on and click them off. Yeah. So it's a bit more analog, a bit more difficult. Would it save you from leaving it on for weeks? Okay, but it would live through that. But yeah, the free space 3DO, it has a battery. And that's what it uses to power the condenser mics. The actual capsules inside of it. Whenever it's the free space. There are the other ones. I think the XLR might not use a battery. But this one does. And I killed it. So, normal mic today. And I thought, just to keep it simple, just some nice typing. Not aggressive. Never aggressive. scuffed ASMR with the normal mic is that it is a dynamic mic and super cardioid. So the fish tank is behind it, so it's not going to pick it up. The 3DO will absolutely pick up the fish tank filter once it's back up and alive. So all ASMR will be featuring ambient babbling brook sounds, I guess. My day has been good. I had a grilled cheese for lunch. I made it with strawberry bread. It was actually pretty good, though I think I needed a bit stronger cheese. The strawberry bread is really thick, so you mostly just taste strawberry bread instead of getting the strawberry and cheese. So it could probably do with, I don't know, maybe not a mild cheddar, maybe a Swiss. That would probably be good. But I only had American. Never considered. Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, charcuterie boards have cheese and fruit. Cheese and fruit is a normal pairing. Why not make a grilled cheese with my fruit bread? And it was yummy. just mashing. It's really just stream of consciousness writing. Although I might take a moment and close the window fully. I can hear people outside, and I don't want Squirrely to hear them and then bark. One moment. Okay, window is closed. A fanfic? Absolutely not. Backlog of Twitter drafts? No, you'll never see this. You wouldn't understand most of it. because, you know, she's got to protect people being in bed. But during the day, she's just lazy bones. Especially right now. I mean, think of how little she barks typically in a normal stream these days. It's not usually until it's time for her to, you know. Lazy morning. We love a lazy morning. Yes. If you leave her alone for 2 seconds in the kitchen after she's eaten her food, she says, "Oh, that litter box, that's mine. I'm getting in there." You can never rest with the squirrel. Last I played it was Tuesday, Wednesday, whenever I tweeted about it. Geronimo, welcome back to the Chosen Heroes. And thank you, thank you. What have I been playing? Nothing, I think. I've been mostly chipping away at the 12-hour video about Survivor. I don't think I've been playing anything recently. I can check. Let's look at my Steam. Yeah, a little bit of The Witness, but not much. Yeah, haven't really been playing anything. Oh, celebrating 3 years of Death Stranding on PC. Do I own Death Stranding on PC? Wow, I do. When did that happen? That's crazy. which I know most of the time they just ignore half of what would happen as a result of time travel and focus only on their end goal. Yeah, exactly. They just ignore half of what would happen. I'm sitting here thinking about time travel to make it work with what I wanted to do, but then the resulting threads of it are a tangled mess, and I'm like, oh my god, why? Why do people do time travel? I'm here like, okay, so if you went back, or if you were essentially a vacuum of space-time and interacted with the manifestation of the previous version, or like a past version of someone's self, like almost a time ghost, and you helped them get to rest, and they re-entered into the circumstance of like this world where people are definitively reborn. Does that mean their past self has been put to rest, so they were entering that slipstream of being reborn in the past, or is it now from this current point in time, so that they're not reborn until now in this current point in time, or is it where they go back in the past to be reborn, so that essentially one day the grown reborn version of themselves doesn't exist, and then after you put them to rest in this vacuum, the next day the world would have this alternate timeline split off where this person has existed and grown and lived a full life in this community, but for you it's been like they didn't exist and now they exist. What? Time travel, man. Are you okay? I'm thinking about Final Fantasy XIV. I'm thinking about Final Fantasy XIV. Closed loop or parallel dimensioning it, basically. It's really difficult to think about time travel in 14. Yeah, actually, technically. Because there's this whole thing where you go back to the past at the time of the ancients. Like you have the Alex raids, you have Elpis, you have Pandemonium, which is like both in the past and not. I'm thinking about Themis, because it's implied that he re-enters the live stream at the end of the Pandemonium raids. And then we know, obviously, that Eric has been reborn as a shard on the source. So I'm thinking about what that means for Themis. It's difficult. worry about it. I want to know what happens with Themis. He's my little guy. I want him to be reborn. I want Hivlo and Vana and Hades to be reborn as well, which then also begs the question, was Vana re-entered into the live stream to be reborn as well once we released her? I have questions and I don't know if they will ever be answered. Time travel to be reborn, but it's not using time travel to make someone be reborn. It's time travel to save the entire existence of the universe, technically. And then the side effect is that these souls who have been unable to rest finally find rest and re-enter the live stream where they could be reborn. Because souls are kind of canonically recycled in that way. And they're also split into shards and sundered or unsundered, and Pixie does. But the thing is that she could have gone back into the live stream. Like, it's implied with Hidlo and Hades, like, oh, now we can rest. But it's like, there you rest. Like, for real, your soul is out of the cycle. Or you rest, like, we're going back into the live stream. Can the unsundered be reborn in the live stream? Yeah, Final Fantasy XIV. I have questions. I have thoughts and questions. Too many thoughts. An essay/rant. I'm writing all of my thoughts as I'm thinking it. Essentially. Because personally, I want them to be reborn. I want them to have a chance at life that isn't the hellish trap they've been stuck in. I want them to have another go and, like, actually get to live and be fine without carrying the weight of the universe on their shoulders. No more ancients for them to be born into, but that's not necessarily the case because of Claudian. Claudian shows that it's possible and what is possible. They could come back. today. Imagine being a cat girl. This post was made by the Long Neck Gang. Ew. You player Elezens. Imagine being a player character Elezen. I think my Barbie alt is a Highlander. I know she's a healer, but I think she's a Highlander. My Elezen is beautiful. Yeah, sure. I have seen maybe 2 total player character Elezens that I thought looked good. Most of them I'm just like, you're too long. I don't know if that'll be something that would be touched in the 7.0 update. Are we finally getting Lady Hrothgar in the 7.0? Like, is that what they've been waiting for? Instead of, like, unveiling them and then having to redo them in 7.0, or are they just gonna wait for 7.0? Yeah, patches soon. He looks nice. I don't believe it. This is propaganda. This is Elezen propaganda. Say no to big Elezen. Unless it's Ish Guardians and NPC Elezens. Estinian. Amaric. A cowgirl. It's a cat girl. Oh, wait. A cowboy. No. Who doth? Who is that? Who is he who doth? Oh, Yurianche. I think he looks dreadful. I hate Yurianche's stupid facial hair. That is one long, silver-haired character I've never been like, yup, I'm into that one. Nope. You can keep Yurianche. Thank you. You can also keep Sid Garland. Sid. Urianger or Cyrus? Oh, I hate Cyrus. Urianger, I don't like how he looks. And I kind of hated him for a lot of the story until he started being less insufferable at the end of Shadowbringers. And now I'm like, I look at Urianger when he says something, I'm like, you big idiot, but like affectionate. If that makes sense. Like, you're like, shut up, but like affectionately. That's me towards Urianger now. No, I've not played the new Final Fantasy. Yes, Sid. I hate Sid. I hate Sid real. I would bury Sid in the ground. Idiot with his feathered hair and his chest out. Why is he doing that? Ark is not proving me wrong. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know 90% of the player Elezen base. Most of them are ugly, like I said, and it's very rare to have a player Elezen actually look good. And if Ark has one of the very few that looks good, then congrats on working black magic in the character creator. Because that is what must be done to have a good looking Elezen. Talked about the other characters from 14. I think I've mentioned Sid before, because I hate Sid. I also don't like Grahatia. We already know that. Sharzu had Graha as her phone wallpaper, and I looked at it and I was like, oh, ew. Oh, ew, Graha. Gross. Screen cap of Sid, Alfie, and my aura all standing together during an ARR cutscene. All her white hair makes it like a dumb family. Maybe that's dumb, but Sid is terrible. There are so many other characters with white hair in this game, especially like main NPCs. Have you noticed that? Like, all of the Scions have white hair. Thancred, Y'shtola, Estinian, Alphino, Alice. It's like Tataru who doesn't, Urianger, and of course fucking Minfilia, but Minfilia. Gross. Like, there's so many white-haired NPCs that are major characters in this game. I wonder if it's intentional. NPC, I think of someone with white hair. But why? Even trying to think of notable white-haired NPCs, I can't really. I mean, Sephiroth is one, obviously. But I don't think that it's like actually that high of a concentration. Emmerich, I love Emmerich. Emmerich and Estinian, my beloveds. That's why I say NPC Elezen look good, but most player Elezen look bad. Did Adia have white hair? No, she had like blonde hair, right? The blank void in my mind of FF8. White hair is actually pretty uncommon within the Final Fantasy franchise, so it's pretty rare and stands out that so many of the 14 important characters do. Yeah, like I really don't think white hair is actually that common. How's beating it going? You know. is now. My brain has wandered into the zone of would marriageable NPCs in 14 ever work? Because I know some games have it where you could like marry minor NPCs, but I don't think there's any minor ones that people would want to marry in 14. She's dead. You can't marry Teslie, and she's a monster now. It's a little late for that one. No, not a monster girl. Not a monster girl. No, like a monster. One that would rip you to shreds and has no leftover thought. No, not a monster girl. It is no longer a girl. She cannot be fixed. The monster is not a girl. Not really. No. It's a sin eater. Yoshi-B has spoken really strongly against the concept of NPC marriage. See, yeah, I don't think it really works in 14. Like, it might work in other games, but 14 is... it's just not good for marriage, like, with NPCs. Because that would put way too much of a limit on the NPC and what they can do. And, like, the NPCs that people would want to marry are, like, as much main characters of the game as the Warrior of Light is. So yeah, like NPC marriage really just, it doesn't make sense for 14. Because they would need to have that NPC essentially be like sitting on the sidelines forever. Like you would need to have an NPC that is marked to never have anything major happen to them. And then also need to like basically set like this NPC sits around all day and does nothing and can't die and can't be involved in anything important. All the Stormblood NPCs, but who wants to marry those? Other than like the freaks that want to marry, what's her name? God, what is her name? What is her name? No, not Yotsuyu. That's not freak behavior. That's me behavior. Aura. Angry Aura woman. From the steppe. Sadhu, yeah. Freaks that want to marry Sadhu. I knew it started with an S and an A, but I couldn't remember the rest. That's you, freak. It's pretty freak behavior. Also, Yotsuyu is dead. I can't marry a dead woman. gasoline is not dead. Thinking on it more, NPC marriage really would make no sense in 14. Like, beyond just the fact that Yoshi P doesn't want to give everyone a copy of an NPC. Like, housing is way too difficult to come by in 14. Because while you can get an apartment, most people don't. Because if they really want a house, they would have a house. Or they're in the housing savage to get a house. And then a lot of people just don't have an apartment because they see no need for it. So where would your married NPC go if you have no housing? Where are they? Like, where do they go? And then two, like, part of the benefit of marrying someone in 14 is the free teleport to where that person is. You're not going to be able to teleport to your NPC if they just sit in your house all day, because that's just you teleporting to your house. They go to the barracks. Like, logistically, it also just doesn't make sense for the game, for what marriage is in the game. Because really, the only proper benefit for marriage in the game is the teleporting ring and then, like, the two-person mount. What else do you get out of marrying someone in the game? No, you don't like being married has nothing to do with your housing circumstance in 14. If you have a house, you can always add, I think, one other person who can, like, take secondary control of, like, the house, so it can, like, they can set stuff out or they can use stuff. You don't have to be married for that. There is genuinely nothing else that marriage affects other than getting a two-person mount and the teleporting ring. next thing you know, you'll be bees kneeing in the corner of someone's house called a nightclub because you're unmarried. Harlot. My roleplay is I only play a few patches each expansion. Oh, what? Oh, what's roleplay about that? The squirrel has rolled over onto her back inside of her prison. She's snoozing. least 20. It is 1,763 words. At least 20. Yeah. I have a lot of thoughts in my brain all the time. Writing whatever comes to mind, or you have a subject. I'm kind of just flowing from thought to thought for the most part. So I'll write a big chunk about something, and then I'll think of something that's like connected to it, and then move and write a chunk about that, and then so on and so forth. And it's just stream of consciousness. Multiple thoughts, I get multiple tabs, obviously. it so I actually have something to type. So I'm not just key smashing the whole time. I gotta look up Mikote naming conventions. Yeah, it's true. It's just one big gaslight. Okay, so he was a moon. Ah, okay, yeah. I had it wrong. Moon cat. 3. Moon cat. I was trying to remember what sun order it was for the name, because my main cat is not named following naming conventions. It's just a little idiot cat. But I have my secondary cat on a different data center and world, who I call my secret cat boy, who I did actually name with the naming conventions. And I couldn't remember if he was meant to be third son, etc. by the name. But now I've looked it up. So an ASMR stream with your remarkable where you just write stuff. I mean, probably. Peanut butter going through all those cutscenes. I mean, you may think that lore names are better because you're on Crystal, you dirty RP data center liver. But it's very fun and funny to have a silly name be in cutscenes. Just imagine a villain cursing your existence when your name is something like Schmoopy Dolphin. Hilarious. It's great. It's also a great way to break the tension when you're about to cry. Whenever an NPC's like, Schmoopy Dolphin, I'll never forget you. And you're like, okay, good, I'm not gonna cry now. Plus, most people who have like silly names like that have lore names that they have for their character anyway. They just like to use silly names, so it's more of a marker of like a username almost. Same with silly outfits. I always use the Moogle weapon. Like, that's what I have as my glamour, is the Moogle weapon. So you'll have like super serious cutscenes where it's like, alright, we're about to enter this like life or death battle, and your wall will take out their weapon, and my dumb cat girl's like, Kupo, taking out her weapon looking pissed off. See, I love it. It's silly and fun. But also having a silly name works well for people who Fanta often. Instead of needing to Fanta and change your name to always have a lore name accurate to whatever character you're running at the time, having the silly name means that it's just basically there like your username. I know a lot of people that Fanta like all the time, but they'll have like lore names for those characters, so they're not gonna like buy a name change every time they Fanta. Yeah, I've never Fantaed either. It costs money to change your name. It also costs money to change things that aren't like your clothes or your hairstyle. Like if you want to change your eye color, you gotta pay for a whole Fantasia in order to Fanta. Wait, that's not true. I have Fantaed. I used my free Fanta to Fanta into the Lala version of my cat girl, and then Fantaed back to my normal cat girl. But the Lala Fanta was for sillies because we were farming Rathalos and losing our minds trying to get the mount, which I still have never seen that mount actually drop, even in running it like 70 times. So, you know, at some point we were feeling so insane, being like, wow, the Rathalos stomped on us, so we all Fantaed into Lala versions of our normal characters because we had been stomped by the Rathalos. That's where my free Fanta went. Now I remember. Well, I mean, we did all the farming, it's just you had to farm it 50 times to get enough scales for the mount. So, we did the farming, everyone got the mount, but it's still like, I have never seen the mount actually drop from the fight itself. My cat girl is very cute as a Lala, to the point that I made a second. I made an alt. That is the Lala version of my cat girl. I don't ever play it, but she's out there. She exists. No. No, I'm pretty sure the rate is like really bad. Let's see. Yeah, another person saying 70 kills, never seen it dropped. Someone else saying they saw the mount drop only once. I don't know if there's like a known percentage for the drop, but it is very bad. It's like, it's worse than Nightmare. And I once spent like 2 hours farming to get Nightmare. Got lucky, absolutely. Plus, you can't unsync it, if I remember correctly. So, Rathalos farming sucks. Like a lot. Let's see. Lots of people saying they've fully farmed for scales. Never saw it drop. How long does one attempt take? I don't remember. There is some like strategy that you can do. But it's still a pretty lengthy fight sometimes. It's like, I think it's at least 10 minutes every run. If I remember properly, because it has 2 phases. Yeah. So then you have to run it 50 times as well to get the scales for it, because you probably will not see it drop. This person said I did 80 runs and saw the whistle drop a total of 2 times. Insanity. It's a rough one, but it's such a cool mount. It's worth it. Plus, us all being Lala meant that once we got it, all of our Rathalos were really tiny because the Rath mount scales with your size. So you get to roll around on a tiny Rathalos. Gonna doze off. Rest well. waiting? Konami. You know, I'm gonna end in like 10 minutes, right? Or actually, yeah, like 10 minutes. You came very late. I like to keep ASMR shorter, but not too short. That way, it's something that is easy to come back to. It might last long enough for someone to fall asleep. They're long. I mean, 2 hours is still pretty long. How odd was it to do ASMR during the daytime? Not that odd. Also, it's starting to get to be the time of day where it's getting warm in this room, and I have the fan turned off because it was getting picked up on the mic, and I would like to not melt. That was scary. She heard something and immediately woke up and ran towards the door to be like, "Ruff." And I was like, "Oh." Saved your life. That's also another very good reason why to keep this short. The longer it goes on, the higher the potential for something terrible to happen. just writing like stream of consciousness, just the thoughts in my skull. Thank you for the wonderful monkey ASMR. Thank you, Pira. Thank you, thank you. And hey, now you have ASMR for tonight. For those of you who it is daytime for. You're already lined up. A word per minute test. Once upon a time, but not recently. Plus, I feel like a word like a WPM test isn't like always indicative of things, right? Because you could be really fast when it comes to copying and transcribing what you see in front of you. But you're not going to maintain that sort of speed whenever it's like you thinking and writing something. So I think it's good enough if I can type at the same speed in which I am thinking, and then I don't really care to know beyond that. No, I will never raid out of an ASMR because it would be silly. Alright, we've hit the 2-hour mark. Let's see my word count total to end it off with. We have ended with 2,667 words. Not bad. If you were to distill that into words per minute, which still wouldn't be indicative of an actual typing speed, it's more indicative of my brain thinking speed. That'd be like 22 words per minute that my brain spit out. That's too many thoughts. Well, hopefully next time I will have a new battery in my 3DO. So I can actually use my fancy mic. For ASMR like it was intended to be. I cannot believe I left it turned on. I'm still so annoyed by that. But that also means that next time you'll probably hear fish tank some more. So get ready for ambient water noises. No, the battery didn't leak. Already took the battery out. It's not really blub blub, it's like water falling. Because it's the water filter. So it's the sound of the water like pouring out of the filter back into the tank. So it just sounds like water hitting the surface of water. Go turn on a sink in a sink full of water and you'll know. Yup. But until then, thank you so much for coming by. Please have a wonderful rest of your day or night, wherever you are. And I will see you all later. Until then, I love you all so